I think the best time for me to do a vlog is after the gym. I don't know why, I don't look the best. So at least I at least know that you're not really here just for the looks. You're here because you want to get some knowledge or a little bit of my personality, which I appreciate. I appreciate you. I wanted to talk about interest rates. Interest rates, what we're noticing is that they're starting to trend down. So you as a seller, you as a buyer, you're in luck. You might be thinking, why in the world would I be in luck if I'm a seller and a buyer? Like, it has to be either or. No. So if you're a buyer, a first-time home buyer, right now you have a really good opportunity because you're able to get more purchasing power for your property. If you're a seller, you have more buyers coming in to purchase your property. So it's a win-win, right? Of course, as a seller, you're not going to be getting that crazy bidding war like you were getting in 2020, back when you were getting all those different other offers, which is okay. But I want to emphasize the fact that if you are a seller moving up or a seller moving down, you'll be able to get the opportunity to negotiate for another property without having to worry about other people competing with you as much as 2020 was, right? And what we're noticing too is here in Washington State, Snohomish County specifically, we're still seeing that properties are appreciating, which is a good sign, because no matter if you were to sell in this winter time and buy a little bit later on, you're still going to be going up in a good trend line. If you're a buyer and you decide to buy now as a first-time home buyer, with interest rates still trending down, you get in a really good position, because you as a first-time home buyer, you may be having to pay a little bit more than you feel comfortable with in the first couple months, maybe even a year, when it comes to your mortgage. But because interest rates are trending down, you're able to refinance in the next year or two and lower your monthly payment by, let's say, $200. Like, I just had one of my great lender referrals. He told me that he's, over the last week or so, has already had about 15 phone calls, 15 people calling and asking, hey, I'd like to see if I can refinance my property. And it's $200, $300 that they're able to refinance. And, you know, at first he's like, well, the people that are calling our lender buddy and saying, hey, I mean, $200 is nothing. But to them, really, to the average person, when it comes to saving $200 to $300, like, that's a little extra that can go a lot farther for you than it just going into the market or going into the monthly payment, right? And if you are a seller, the really cool thing is right now, because we are in the winter time with interest rates trending down a little bit, and it's winter time, and you want to downsize or you want to upsize, you get the opportunity to do that. And the reason you get the opportunity to do that, because then if you want to write up an offer as a seller, as a contingent buyer, and the contingency, all that means is that you are contingent on buying this house upon the sale of your property. So all that means is like, hey, I want to buy house A, but I have house B and I live in house B, but I really want this one. But I don't want to sell this property first without me actually being able to move to the next property. Because if I buy this house, right, but I need the equity out of this house to buy this. And if I can't, then I won't be able to buy this house. But I don't want to go ahead and sell this house without having to run around with a chicken with a head cut off, hoping that I get under contract to go look for my house. I want to feel a little bit more comfortable. You have the luxury to do that right now in this market, because then people are not buying properties as much as they would be. Yes, interest rates are trending down, a little bit more buyers are going back in the market, but wintertime tends to be a little bit slower for people, for the market. For example, I just had one of my buyers do this, one of my sellers' buyers. They were wanting to buy a bigger home because they needed an extra bathroom. So they were growing, and they had I think it was like 4 or 5 people in the house, and they were like, you know what, I can't be fighting for a 3-bedroom, 1 bath. Like, we are fighting. We have to have schedules for the bathroom. No. So they said, how about we decide we go ahead and buy another property. This other property has another bathroom. It's a lot bigger, but I can't have everybody run around, have to run around schedules, have to, look at night. Like, how about we just go look, get pre-approved, and then go start looking for a house? So that's what they did. They ended up getting pre-approved. They learned that they needed to have, like, for the same monthly payment that they were looking for, so it would be around the same, they would have to net this amount of money, which was actually what they were going to be able to net with the sale of their property, because they were living in it for about 5 to 6 years. So boom, they start searching because they have the pre-approval. We write up an offer. They found the home that they love, right up with the extra bathroom. and they find out that they're able to write a contingent offer because there are no other offers competing. Because if you're, let's say for example, wanting to write up an offer contingent on the sale of your other property, and somebody else is writing up an offer in that same property that they want without it being contingency, more times than not, they're gonna go with the uncontingent offer. And the reason why they're not gonna go with that contingent offer is because they feel like it'll be a lot smoother closing, because now they have to rely on this other property to go on the market, on this other property to get fixed, on this other property, just all these different variables versus just the one, get pre-approved and to see if we can close. Does that make sense? But if you've been on the market for a while and you have this contingent offer that comes up, you're like, we'll do it. And so that's what they did, right? They did that, they wrote up the offer, they went contingent. A week later, we were to put it on the market and we got it sold within 2 weeks. So again, to emphasize, right now in the wintertime, interest rates coming down, you have a lot of opportunity. So if you've been wanting to sell and buy another property, but you just didn't know how to start, you felt maybe like, I need to sell this first. Not necessarily. So you have in two really good positions, as a seller buyer, as a buyer looking to just buy your first home, you have those two opportunities. Does that make sense? If you have any questions on what I just said, if you're like, Elias, you're speaking way too dang fast, I'd love to answer any questions on the comments below. Let me know. I'd be more than happy to help.